Greetings, everyone. Hope all of you are having an absolutely fantastic day. One of the most exciting announcements from the Game Awards was Solasta 2. It absolutely came out of left field, but the trailer showed off some improved graphics and left a lot of fans excited about what Tactical Adventures have been working on. They've recently dropped the Steam update that shows some screenshots of what characters look like now in the new game, and it's very, very exciting, especially for those of us who played the first game. So I thought it'd be worth the video going through all this information and sharing it with you. Let's go ahead and dive in. So they kick things off with a nice cat picture and telling everyone Happy New Year. And speaking of which, Happy New Year to all of you in the Slandered Gaming community. I hope you all have peace and prosperity throughout this year and moving forward. Moving from there, they also remind everyone to wishlist Solasta 2 on Steam. I'll definitely leave a link down in the description so you are able to do that. I highly recommend you go ahead and let Tactical Adventures know you're excited about this game by putting it on Steam. Now they start getting into the meat of this update. Show me that face. Let's be honest. One of the weaker parts of Solasta 1 was our character models, which were the first things people saw when they started playing. In fact, even in positive reviews, some of you said that they were apprehensive about getting the game at first because of how the characters looked. I'm absolutely one of those people. In my review for the game, I made it clear I felt like the character models were poor and that it was an area of the game that would have to improve in a sequel. And in fact, some of you left me comments saying that you felt like my review of the game was too positive, considering how poor the character models were. Now, obviously, I disagree. I feel like graphics have their place, and having companions and your main character look good is important, but it doesn't necessarily disqualify everything regarding gameplay. And I felt like the gameplay aspects of Solasta were very, very good. And so it caused me to overlook or to not to place as much emphasis on how poor some of the character models were. But regardless, they go on to say, now we explained quite a few times that we unfortunately couldn't update the character models in Solasta 1 because of the entire pipeline already being built for that game. But you know what doing a whole new game in a different game engine allows us to do? That's right, exactly that. Now, without further ado, let me show you in-game screenshots showing currently implemented characters. So this is a halfling who they wanted to put up not only to show her improved face, but also to show that you'll have some options in regards to face paint as well. To be honest with you, this screenshot and most of the screenshots I see give me very, very strong Baldur's Gate 3 vibes, and that's not a bad thing at all. Certainly a marked improvement from what we experienced in Solasta 1. As far as the dialogue they say here, it says, I'm not allowed to leave the village except to go fishing. The mayor says it's not safe. They don't divulge what that particular commentary is about. So you'll see in some of the other screenshots, there are words down here, but it's really just about seeing the character faces. I think this looks fantastic. I think she looks kind of roguish, kind of like you're not sure what she's going to do. I can absolutely see myself playing a character who looks like this and enjoying it. So already right off the bat with the first screenshot, I think it's a big step up. But things get even more interesting on the second screenshot, because honestly, this guy even more really fits into the type of character I like to play. Wow, this dwarf looks great. This dwarf looks great. His armor looks really nicely detailed. I like the reddish in his beard. Like, just everything about this character really works for me. Absolutely comes off strongly as like a Gimli type of character. I would love running around with this guy. Super cool, and no question, he looks better than anybody we were able to play with in the first Solasta game. Then they move on. I'm not sure. Oh, this is a halfling character that they have then, and so she doesn't. This is what they look like without the face paint, without the helmet. Again, I think she looks really nice. The commentary says mostly leaves us alone if we leave it be, but it takes half our pearl harvest for the trouble. So sounds like it's some sort of monster that we're probably going to have to defeat. But again, I think she looks great. The character animation looks expressive. It looks like she's either puzzled or angry or trying to figure something out. So that'll be the interesting part of this as well. Like, you can make the face models look better, but you also have to have better facial animations to display the emotions the characters are going through. And so I don't feel like we really get an idea from these screenshots about whether or not they've done that, but this here gives us at least a little bit of hope. So if the writing is improved and these face models are consistent across the board, man, I think we could be in store for a really, really cool experience. Now, Tactical Adventures added, keep in mind that we are still in pre-alpha, so they're not even in alpha yet. And these are all pre-made characters, as we have yet to implement the character creator. Be assured that once we do, we'll share it in an article to give you more information on the new visual customization options. And if you're wondering if they only look detailed during cutscenes, here's a quick screenshot we nabbed in-game while playing. All we did was hide the UI, but no special developer camera or other treatment otherwise. And this is a part fighter, part cleric, full-time hero. So they're experimenting with multi-classing. In fact, they mentioned that, but we haven't seen the ins and outs of how that works. You couldn't multi-class in Solasta, so this will be new functionality. Definitely, again, very, very exciting. And I think this character looks super cool. I think the armor, the scaled armor, looks nice. I love the facial paint that's on her. I think all of this just looks fantastic. And once again, big improvement from the first Solasta game. Now, you may be wondering when you're going to get a chance to dive in. And so they mentioned you'll be able to play around with this crew that they've showed screenshots of when the demo comes out. But when? We'll have to ask you to be a little more patient. So unfortunately, we still do not have a release date for the demo version of Solasta 2. But hopefully, it's going to come out in the next couple of months. Now, the last screenshot that they show, and it's probably what's going to be in the thumbnail, so you've probably already seen this, is a direct comparison between how a character would look in Solasta Crown of the Magister and how a character would look in Solasta 2. And frankly, I think it's just about night and day. Night and day. I think you can see this looks absolutely hard. Again, Solasta has amazing gameplay. If you haven't played Solasta, I highly recommend that you do. I really do think it's worth it. But the character models were absolutely ugly. Absolutely hard to look at. And this is significantly easier to look at. So it looks just significantly better. Frankly, not just because of the face and the textures, but also even the clothing looks better. The clothing looks more detailed and has more personality. And so just all the way around, I think from a visual standpoint, what they showcase is very exciting. And then finally, they mentioned that there is going to be a community stream on Friday, January 10th, where they're going to answer rather even more questions. So you can ask things regarding the 5e rule set and some of the other things that Tactical Adventures is planning to do in the future. And that's it. That's the full update. Again, I think it's super exciting. I think from a visual standpoint, the character models look significantly improved from what we saw before. And I'm going to go on a limb and say that the facial animations are also much more improved compared to what we got. So the question is going to come down to the writing. Is the writing better than what we had in Crown of the Magister? I'm absolutely one of the people who felt like the writing in the base game was horrid. It was terrible. It took away from the experience. But as I've said before, Tactical Adventures dropped 3 DLC packs with Crown of the Magister, and each DLC, the writing improved. And by the time the final one came out, I was like, all right, this is decent. It still wasn't anything that like blew you away. It didn't have crazy memorable characters that, pop into my head even now, but it was nothing that took away from the amazing gameplay. And I think that that's what Solasta 2 really needs. The writing doesn't, it would be nice if the writing is stellar. It doesn't necessarily have to be stellar though, but it really does need to be something that players don't feel like takes away from the overall experience. When you finish Crown the Magister, you're like, okay, what the hell was that? Like that should not be the feeling of the player when they're finished with, this 20-hour epic. So if they can nail that part, man, I think this is going to be an incredibly exciting experience. So anyway, that's my video. Hope you all enjoyed it. Leave me your thoughts in your comments down below. If there's any specific content for Solasta 2 that you would like to see, by all means, please let me know. I'd be happy to help. I'll see you on the next video. Take care.